Have you ever picked up your phone to text someone, but then you put it back down and said, they're probably busy, or not today, maybe tomorrow I will? Well, if that's you and you've done that more than once, today's message is for you, where I'm talking about 5 invisible barriers that keep us stuck in isolation, but more importantly, how to break free from those things. Hi, I'm Terry. I am the founder of Inspired Wellness Holistic Health Coaching, where I help autoimmune warrior women return to health and vitality through lifestyle medicine. And what I'm talking about today, being in community with others, is one of the 9 pillars of lifestyle medicine. I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm sure that this is going to resonate with you. Let's talk about isolation. One of the things that I've noticed about isolation is that it rarely happens all at once. It's something that gradually creeps in, and it begins by we cancel a lunch date because we don't feel well, or we're too tired, or we miss a Bible study because we're having a flare, or we say no to a coffee invitation because we just don't want to explain how we're feeling and what's going on in our lives. After all, nobody likes to talk about being sick. And after enough of those, you find yourself in an isolated state. The invitations stop coming, you stop reaching out because you get used to being alone, and it feels normal to be alone. And actually, it feels safe to be alone, and it can feel good because you don't have to explain yourself. But over time, I know that that's not what any of us really want. And I think we miss connection with other people, but we don't always know how to find our way back. That's what we're talking about today. There are 5 barriers that I've identified that keep us stuck in this isolation, and we're going to talk about each one. The first one is telling yourself, I don't want to be a burden. And that is very common. We don't want people to worry about us. We might not even want it to tell people what's really going on with us, and we just hold it to ourselves. But if one of your loved ones was going through a crisis of some sort, wouldn't you want them to share it with you? Wouldn't you want to carry that burden with them and encourage them? I'm sure that you would. And I'm sure that your loved ones would too. And if your loved ones shared that, would you feel like they were a burden to you? Of course not. You would feel honored that they wanted to share that with you and that they trusted you enough to share that with you. And I am sure that your friends and your loved ones feel the same way. They want to know what's going on with you. They want you to trust them. And it goes both ways. This is really a special type of a relationship when we can be vulnerable with our friends and family and share things together. And it's really adds a lot of blessing to our lives. Barrier number 2 is when we tell ourselves, I'll reconnect when I feel better. Well, I would like to gently challenge that thought. Feeling better isn't something that we can schedule. And I know in my own journey that how I felt would be up and down and up and down. And it was really hard to know when I was going to feel good or not. But there are things that I could do and that you can do that are not too taxing. Maybe you want to have coffee with a friend or go for a short walk with a friend. Maybe you only have enough energy for half an hour, and just make that clear up front. There are little things that you can do to increase your connection with others, even if you don't have a lot of energy or you're not feeling at your total best. The third barrier is telling yourself, oh, they won't understand. And that's true. They probably won't understand unless they've gone through what you've gone through. But there are some people that absolutely will understand. So that is an excuse. You can still and reach out, and you don't need people to understand. You just need a connection. And you don't need a village. You just need one friend to start with that you can share with, that you can have a laugh with. And when you get together, it's not to talk about all that's going wrong with your life, but it is to share life, find out what's going on with their life and participate in that. and rejoice with them for their wins and vice versa. Barrier number 4 is telling yourself, my life isn't what it used to be. Well, I can resonate with this one because my life is completely different than what it used to be. And at first that was hard because I had an identity around who I used to be. I was an Ironman triathlete. I was an executive. I worked hard and I did a lot of things, and I had a lot of friends and a lot of social gatherings that I would host and attend, and it was a good life and it was a lot of fun. But when my illness struck, all of that changed, and I stopped working and I could no longer participate in all of the activities that I used to do. And so in a sense, part of my identity slipped away, but I had to realize my identity is not what I do, it's who I am. And that is the same for you. Your identity is not your illness, your identity is not your old life, but your identity is you. Who are you? Who is Terry? And who are you? Because that is a beautiful thing. We don't have to be wrapped up in what used to be, and we don't have to be embarrassed that those things no longer exist and that we've changed as a result of that, because as humans we all evolve, whether it's an evolution because of chronic illness or something else has changed in our lives. We are an evolving human being. Barrier number 5 is, I don't know where to start. Well, let's make it really simple. You start with one teeny tiny small step. Pick up your phone and send one text. That's all. One text to a friend that says, hi, how are you? I'm thinking of you, and just see where that goes. Don't send an invite, just reach out to a person. Small steps have a way of becoming larger steps. One of my favorite scriptures about being in community is found in Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verses 9 and 10, and it reads, 2 people are better off than one, for if one falls, the other can help them up. This is a beautiful picture, and it's a beautiful picture of friendship and all relationships that are give and take. It's part of God's design for us as humans, how to be in relationship with each other and bear one another's burdens. Sometimes we are the encourager, and sometimes we are the recipient of encouragement. But either way, both of those are godly ways to be in relationship with other people. God never intended for us to carry our burdens alone. I have a challenge for you this week. It's very small. Think of one person and maybe scroll through your phone and find a person that you haven't talked to for a while, or maybe it's a person that you have talked to more recently, and just reach out and say hi. Don't overthink it. Don't wait until you have more energy or when you feel better. It doesn't take much to just send a quick text. It takes seconds to do that. The hardest part is identifying who you're going to text, but that's really not too hard. You can go through your contacts if you'd like, but just send one simple text. Don't even think about it. Just find the person that you want to text and do that. If today's conversation encouraged you, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear how you're doing and how you are overcoming isolation. Leave me a comment. And if you know someone that needs to hear this, that you think this would be encouraging for, then I challenge you to send them the link to watch this video. And hopefully this will encourage them as well. I do this so that I can encourage you, because I've been there. I know what it's like, and it's not an easy path, and I want to encourage you. So I just want you to remember that healing happens one faithful step at a time. Until next week, take good care of yourself, friend.